Hi everybody, Kaiwaza with you, and we are going through my Hawaiian records. We're in the letter C. I'm enjoying my orange blossom tea in my tiki mug, and we are just going to plow right on through and look at some more records under the letter C. How about that? Hawaiian records. Sort of. Some of them, sort of. For example, this first one we're looking at today, Alma Mia, featuring the Hawaiian guitar and organ of Leon Cardona and Francisco Zapata. This record was from Compañía Colombiana de Discos Limited, Medellin, Colombia. And it is a most beautiful record label. Look at that. Really pretty. As it says, steel guitar and organ, and these are not Hawaiian songs, they are Colombian popular songs, and it's a very nice record on the Zeta label. Okay, here's a 1962 record, Frankie Carle. His piano and orchestra, Honolulu Honky Tonk. I've mentioned on previous video about record cover models, this lady right here shows up on several different record covers in several different situations and combinations with other women and in other settings, and she is always attired and made up in hair exactly the same. So I'd love to hear the mystery of that someday, but I suspect they were all shot in one day somewhere, and they just took them all around and did, okay, we got to do the Frankie Carle cover, and now we go to this garden, and whatever. This record, of course, you wouldn't necessarily associate honky tonk piano with Hawaiian music, but it's a very cute record. It works, and I enjoy it. Honolulu Honky Tonk's a cute song. Then he kind of came back a couple years later. This was 1962. This one is 1966. So we're talking kind of we're into the exotica rage time period, where Martin Denny and Arthur Lyman and all those folks are doing their jungle albums and all that. So Frankie Carle, as many people did, got on the bandwagon, did the tropical style of Frankie Carle's. This is some Hawaiian, some exotica songs. We've got Bali High, Quiet Village, Point Siena, Stranger on the Shore, etc., etc. I like this album quite a bit. It's interesting, again, you wouldn't necessarily think of like a honky-tonk-ish piano with this kind of music, but it does work very well, and the arrangements are nice, and it's a good one. I like it. Yes, I do. Okay, now this one, what do you say? I don't know. 1984. This is a locally Hawaii-produced album, Melinda Carroll, The Wonder. Not a Hawaiian album, but a pop album produced by John DeMello. And what I want to say, these kind of records are really interesting to me. You know, I lived through this time period, so like there was a lot of albums like this where there would be, I mean, it runs the gamut. There's some love ballads that are tender, and then there's some like super disco-y kind of things that are like, I mean, at the time maybe they were cool, and now you listen to it and go like, it's cool, but in like a kitschy way, like what were they thinking? And it also has, as most of these albums would, a couple of songs that maybe are either really Hawaiian, she didn't do any really Hawaiian songs, or a couple of songs that are kind of geared toward the Hawaiian market that could potentially have been played on Hawaiian radio. And on here, the songs Island Boy and Hawaiian Nights were geared that way. And Hawaiian Nights is actually kind of a nice song, although there's nothing Hawaiian about it, really. But anyway, Melinda Carroll, I think I don't know if she did any other albums after this. I think some CDs, and she had a Christmas CD out, whatever. But yeah, Melinda Carroll. Now, my neighbor's cat just walked in my apartment. I sometimes leave the sliding door open, and they have like 2 or 3 cats that they let out, and we all have kind of like a common little back lawn area. And sometimes I leave my screen open on the sliding door, and they come in, and one of them just came in. Maybe he'll come up on camera. I don't know. Music of Hawaii, Paul Carson. I have a speech impediment or something. At the pipe organ. Mix of Hawaiian and non-Hawaiian songs, mostly Hawaiian arrangements. This is Mr. Carson. He was known as a minister's son. This actually says, by the way, I love the font on this, and it says Volume 1. I've never seen a Volume 2, I don't know. And it's a Christian faith recording by Alma Records, but it's not a Christian album at all. There's nothing secular on it. But he is the son of a Methodist minister, and I guess this label just does primarily religious music. But this album is not religious, and he also did a radio program that I had heard of called, what is it, Dreamland? Something, The Bridge to Dreamland, and I've seen many albums that were Paul Carson, The Bridge to Dreamland albums. But I would love to find Volume 2. I guess the Christian label is sort of responsible for there being like no women on it, because usually, Hawaiian records were kind of hep up on selling the sensuous South Sea image. Yeah. Okay, here's another one that's not Hawaiian at all, but it's very interesting, and I think it belongs in a Hawaiian collection. Eclipse, John and Jerry Case Sextet. These guys are from out of Texas. This album was recorded in 1975, and it's a jazz album featuring trombone, piano, guitar, and Hawaiian steel guitar. So they're doing jazz on Hawaiian steel guitar. I used to have another record by these same guys, and I do not know what happened to it. I don't know where it is, but I had to. I gotta find it because it's interesting. But this one, only one song on each side. Berderick and Blues for Ted Curtis, but it's, as I said, trombone, guitar, and there's Hawaiian guitar doing jazz, which you don't hear very often. It's an interesting album if you find anything from them. So finally today, a European album, Hawaiian New Sound by Cardona. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that, but these are pop songs with the Hawaiian steel guitar. I have seen some other Hawaiian records out of Europe, steel guitar records with groups, other like strange name groups, and some of them will say featuring Cardona on steel guitar, so I don't really know who this is. Maybe it's the same person that played with the Coconados out of Italy, and John and Jerry Hawaiian guitars out of Italy also. Might be the same person. I'm not completely sure, and there's no date on this, but it looks very 80s to me, early 80s. Hawaiian New Sound. Okay, that's it. Let's listen to some samples, okay? hope you enjoyed those samples. And join me next time. This is my neighbor's cat. I don't even know what his name is. Marley? One of you is named Marley. They have 3 cats. I don't know. Alright. See you next time.